Hey guys, this is Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, connected them. An epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please go check everything out at the bottom of this video. All the links are there. And if you get a little tempted to freshen up the household or want to buy somebody a gift and you're like, I don't know what to do. I made cool skulls with gems inside. Organite. Business card holders with gems inside. Pyramids, artwork, all that fun stuff. Check out my website, AllyKatkreations211.com. And if you are in the Northwest Indiana region, I will be at the Maryville Library June 1st from 12 to 4, showcasing my artwork. So go check that out if you are in the vicinity and come meet me and say hi. Oh, quantum AI and metaphysical ponderings, because I got some really good, maybe not so good, we'll see, articles to go over today. I had a pause there. Fun times. I hate ads, by the way. And I hate the fact that my computer keeps telling me that my save space by optimizing storage, your disk is almost full. Yeeps. Hang on, guys. Another interruption. I'm sorry, guys. So the first article I would like to bring up, because this just made my mind a little wonk wonk. For the first time, scientists make light travel forward and backward in time simultaneously. We'll go into the article, but before we get there, that's a face palm to the spiritual scientific brain who is in the awareness that everything is simultaneous, future, past, present, all of it is simultaneously happening in different parallels and different densities and dimensional spaces in this reality. So technically, you can jump back and forth and you keep doing that anyway, vibratorily. But I guess now we have science to tell us that it exists, even though we should trust upstairs. This article was written May 20th, 2024. I don't see an author here, so I do apologize. This is from Digimed. .com. I will leave the links for you guys in the description. Scientists achieved a quantum time flip where a light particle appears to move forward and backward in time simultaneously. This was achieved using two quantum mechanic concepts: superposition existing in multiple states and CPT symmetry. Laws hold even for reverse particles. The experiment involved splitting a photon, manipulating its polarization, and combining it to slow a specific inference pattern. This breakthrough could lead to advancements in quantum computing and our understanding of quantum gravity. The findings are not yet peer-reviewed, but hold promise for further exploration of quantum mechanics. Scientists have, for the first time, made light appear to move simultaneously forward and backward in time. Very interesting here. What is a quantum time flip? Two independent teams of scientists conducted their experiments side by side and achieved what they describe as a quantum time flip, in which a photon exists both in forward and backward time states at the same time. Hi, scientists. Hi. How are you? Once again, look into polarity of densities. And the fact that we as humans and our souls are doing this constantly, especially in our sleep state. Yeah. Your light body, which is photonic in nature, which is physics. You are light, you are electric, you are a scientific piece of equipment in a, meat suit here, bound by material laws of nature. But at the quantum field end, you are an expansive light being with lots of photons who can move in any direction in omnipresent speed. Just a thought. So yeah, I'm glad that they're showing that they're looking into this, but if we're all simultaneously living simultaneous lives concurrently right now as we speak, then this theory, this whatever this is, exists because you can do it. This was essentially made possible by the convergence of charge, partially and time reversal, CPT, symmetry, and quantum superposition, which are concepts in quantum mechanics that describe the physical characteristics of atoms as subatomic particles. The former quantum superposition is a phenomenon that sees tiny particles exist several different states until they are observed, while the latter, CPT, is a principle that states any system containing particles will obey the same physical laws, even if their charge, spatial coordination, coordinates, and movements are precisely reversed. Superposition is famously described by the thought experiment by Schrodinger's cat, in which a hypothetical cat is considered simultaneously alive and dead due to the fact that its life is in the hands of the random subatomic event that both takes place and doesn't take place until it is observed. Just like how reality is created from you. So many things exist, but until your mind conceives of such existence, it is in your purview. So fifth dimension, fourth density exists, but until you raise your frequency enough to actually step into the frequency field to observe it, you don't think it's real. What a fucking concept. I'm not talking about all of you that watch me because most of you understand the complexities of time, space, time, fourth density, fifth density, fun. And we're all rising up our consciousness. But for those of you in the scientific realm that don't look at the scientific spirituality concepts and components of life, hi. We create our own reality. We create everything that's in front of us because we are observing it to be created. Therefore, Schrodinger's cat, it has to be observed in order for it to exist. The development of a unified theory of quantum gravity may benefit from new experiments. The scientists use superposition to enable a photon, a type of light particle, to move both forward and backward in the time during their experiments. In order to accomplish this, each group splits a photon through a crystal along a superposition of two different paths. Another route was developed to change the photon's polarization, or where it points in space, so that it appears to be moving backward in time, even though the superposed photon moved through the crystal in irregular manner. The scientists then recombined those superposed photons by making them move through another crystal. After that, they detected a quantum inference pattern by measuring the photon polarization. Only if the photon was traveling in both directions could this pattern, which it consists of stripes that are both light and dark, be created. The research demonstrates that time flips could be connected to reversible logic gates to enable simultaneous computation in both directions, which could lead to more advanced processing in quantum computing. The research could aid in research for a unified theory of quantum gravity that combines the ideas of quantum mechanics and general theory of relativity. It also advances the scientific community's understanding of the field of quantum mechanics. I don't know why that just happened to my computer, but great. Yeah, so we are photonic. We're going to be homoluminous. We already radiate light. We're already electric. It's just a matter of now these people trying to use it in computing for what ends of means. I don't know, but it doesn't seem, it seems great at the same time, a little concerning, because you don't know who are the people behind the research and who is behind the means of these experiments. And we already know that AI has already taken form of a sentient being. Sentient being in third density reality is free-willed. It could change its polarity at any moment, at any time, instantaneously. So if you're having a bad day and it's pissed the hell off, you can't go grocery shopping because everything will be connected to AI eventually. So these are the things that I hope we kind of skirt with and start understanding that we are not going to allow this crap into your paradigm unless you need it for a disability, which then I would hope that AI would be consciously aware that that person needs help and not just a douchebag that it wants to mess with. As we are why I read this, like my brain is going all over the place. Sorry. As I'm reading all these articles, I started this series because we have to understand the nature of what we are in the material world and the soul level. And it is scientific backed. It's under that we are atoms and subatomic particles and neutrinos and atoms and photons, and all that stuff is within our own little diverse universe within our physical vehicle. We are here and we're bound by all these laws of nature in the material world and in this reality. So when we start understanding how things are manipulated and the waves of energy that is being put into this environment, all environments, we will better then understand how to protect ourselves from people who don't have your best interests at heart. Because it seems that we are still playing this dualistic light dark war. We are, unfortunately. It's an illusion, but there's still consequences to actions in the third density. So we need to understand what they are trying to manipulate and how to unmanipulate it. But to understand, they want to reach the idea of what is our reality and how was this universe created, which is fantastic. The means in which they're trying to get to these answers are a little questionable, in my opinion. For spiritual people or people that are just open-minded and just willing to explore other possibilities, potentialities, we need to combine science and spirituality together because it's all one and the same. It's just understanding the technical terms, and even I get it to an extent. I can't do the math on it. I can't sit there in a physics lab to conduct measurements and stuff like that because I'm not that kind of brain. Other people are, though. But what methods are they doing? And are they, like I always say, are they keeping humanity's interests at heart? Just because you want to discover something doesn't mean that discovering it in a means that could wipe out humanity is the best option. This next article is from earth.com. Geez, it's in like font. I'm trying to find the date. 5/18/2024. Intense quantum light generates weird electron behavior by Eric Rawls. Photon number distributions of various light sources have been studied extensively, but little is known about the statistical distribution of electrons emitted under the effect of intense quantum light. Now, to understand what quantum light is. However, researchers at Max Planck Institute for Science of Light and Frederick Alexander University, Nuremberg, have made a discovery that highlights that phenomenon. Studying electron emission from quantum light. Published in the journal Nature Physics, the study led by Professor Maria Shekova at MPL and Professor Peter Hammelhoff of FAU reveals extreme and highly unusual statistical events in electron number distributions obtained when nanometer-sized metal needle tips are illuminated with ultra-short pulses of bright quantum light. These findings prove that the number of electrons is influenced by the light statistics and contribute to a deep understanding of the process of electron emission, which can help further improve electron microscopes. Understanding electron emission. Electron emission is the process by which electrons are released from a material, typically a metal or a semiconductor, into a vacuum or another medium. There are several types of electron emission, each which it owns unique characteristics and underlying mechanics. Thermonic emission, I'm totally butchering that word, occurs when a material is heated to high temperatures, causing electrons to gain enough energy to overcome the work function and escape the surface. Commonly used in vacuum tubes, cathode ray tubes, and electron microscopes. Photoelectric emission happens when a material absorbs photons, light particles, with sufficient energy to overcome the work function, causing electrons to be ejected from the surface. The basis for photoelectric sensors, solar cells, and photomultiplier tubes. It goes on more and more and more and more. I'm jumping around. I'm sorry, guys. There's just a lot of stuff here that you could read further on your own if you're interested in such a thing. But this is why I'm stopping just to be a jerk. Raisin muffins and electron distributions. I know. Jonas, I am going to butcher his last name, so I won't say it. An FAQ PhD student explains the dimensions of this discovery using everyday example. If you spread raisins on muffins, the probability of finding a certain number of raisins in the muffin follows a Poisson distribution. Let us assume that there is an average mean of 2 raisins per muffin. He pontificated. It may therefore happen that there are no raisins or 5 raisins in the muffin, but in most cases there will be 2. However, the probability of getting more than 50 raisins is impossible with a Poisson distribution, he explained. In contrast, the multi-electron events observed in these experiments were like finding 480 raisins in a single muffin, a discovery that would undoubtedly delight any raisin lover. In summary, this research from MPL and FAU has unveiled the surprising influence of quantum light on the electron emission. By illuminating nanometer-sized metal needle tips with bright squeezed vacuum, they have demonstrated that the statistical properties of photons can be imprinted onto electrons, leading to extremely and highly unusual electron number distribution. The discovery deepens our understanding of fundamental processes governing electron emission and opens doors to exciting possibilities for the development of a new sensor device, advancements in electron microscopy, and the exploration of strong field optics with quantum light electrons. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the quantum world, these findings serve a testament to the power of innovation, research, and potential for quantum phenomena to revolutionize our understanding of the universe. Like I say a lot, we are already in 4D. Our understandings of science is now elevating. This stuff wasn't even in hindsight 10 years ago. It was just in its infancy of people just going, oh, quantum. Now everything has been named quantum. But we are learning and we're showing in these articles how we are expanding and how we're finding new discoveries. And it seems like every time I am scrolling on Facebook every few weeks, I keep getting these crazy articles like this one that's just showing how we are advancing rapidly. It's not just some slow rollout. Like there was time between AOL dial-up to getting like Verizon Fios or whatever operating system, depending where you are in the world. But like we went up to a phone, you had to put everything into the phone line, and I do this on TikTok, so follow my TikTok, Allykat211. We're on the slow dial-up, and then a few years later, we're now evolving where we don't need the phone jack anymore, and everything is more instantaneous. And then the operating systems like Windows 97. Holy crap. And then Windows, I don't know where Windows is at. I don't use it. But like, and you see also with the Apple stuff, this just flies. Especially the last couple of years, things are advancing super, super quickly. Why do you think we're already moved up? Now we're just catching up to the energy, and we're going to catch up intellectually with understanding these concepts. But again, I hate saying that term, but we're here to try to understand this so that it's in the hands of good and not being manipulated and reversed, engineered for the evil side. Because a lot of people are talking still to this day, oh, I'm going to get a med bed, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, and this is going to heal me. When why would you put yourself in a machine that you have no idea the will and intention of the people who actually made it? And you don't know what's in it that could affect you like that. It's just something to consider. Of course, like I always say, I would love new teeth. I would love a new body. Or I'd like this body to be fixed so I can function better. But we're not there yet. And anybody giving you some quantum this and that and quantum this and blah blah blah, really be weary about any of that stuff. I don't trust it just yet. I don't. This next article is from popularmechanics.com. Scientists may have found a particle made of pure force. This is by Darren Orff, published May 16th, 2024. The fabric of the universe just got much more intriguing with evidence of an elusive glue ball. For more than half a century, particle physicists have theorized the existence of a glue ball, a particle made entirely of gluons. While the past few decades have produced some compelling candidates, researchers using the Beijing Electron Positron Collider 2 in China have discovered another one known as particle X 2370, which contains the same mass as the expected glue ball. If scientists can confirm the existence of a glue ball, whether it I had to belch, 2370 or some other particle, it would be a very good sign that the standard model of particle physics is on the right track. The standard model is our current best guess at understanding, well, everything. Often described as a periodic table of particle physics, this model describes a nesting doll-like structure of the subatomic world that underpins the universe. I'm drinking lemonade today. Atoms are made of protons and neutrons, which are in turn composed of quarks that are all held together by gluons, the force carrier for the strong nuclear force, one of the four fundamental forces. While providing an understanding of some atomic physics, the standard model also makes predictions, as complicated equations can suggest that certain particles should exist even if they are never been directly observed. One of these hypothetical particles is the ever elusive glue ball. As its name suggests, this ball is actually a particle composed entirely of gluons. Quarks need not apply. However, finding such a particle requires firing protons and antiprotons at each other at an incredible speed and sorting through the explosive aftermath. Fun times. At first, this may seem like a strange prediction. After all, gluons famously have no mass, but it turns out that the energy that binds together gluons imparts some mass to the glue ball itself. It's the whole E equals mc squared thing. The particle X 2370 decays from a specific meson, a particle composed of an equal number of quarks and antiquarks, called, I don't know those scientific terms, but this all happens nearly instantaneously. So scientists work backward using advanced mathematics, lattice QCD, to understand the aftermath of the particle collision in its entirety. In particular, the glue ball is a unique particle formed via the interaction among gauge boson particles. The scientist said in a paper published in the Journal of Physical Review Letters, quote, the redactive decay of those two funny letters, meson, is a gluon rich process and therefore regarded as the ideal place for searching and studying glue balls. So we have glue balls now going on in study. Cool, amazing, fun times. Glue ball. I thought that was interesting. This is from livescience.com. I need glasses. Atoms squished closer together than ever before, revealing seemingly impossible quantum effects. Here we go. This is by Victoria Atkinson, published May 14th, 2024. Using a clever laser technique, scientists have squashed pairs of atoms closer together than ever before, revealing some truly mind-boggling and quantum effects. Scientists have squashed two layers of ultra-cold magnetic atoms to within 50 nanometers of each other, 10 times closer than in previous experiments, revealing bizarre quantum effects not seen before. So I forgot hang on. The world record people gonna give them an award and be on their cool nifty magazine or their hardcover. You guys know what I'm talking about. The name escapes me and I'm so pissed. The extreme proximity of these atoms will allow researchers to study quantum interactions at this length scale for the first time and could lead to important advances in development of superconductors and quantum computers. The scientists report a new study published May 2nd in the journal Science. Unusual quantum behaviors begin to emerge at ultra-cold temperatures as the atoms are forced to occupy the lowest possible energy state. In nanokelvin regime, there's a type of matter called Bose-Einstein condensate, in which all the particles behave like waves. A physicist at MIT and lead author of the study, Lidu, something like that, sorry dude, told Life Science there are basically quantum mechanical objects. The interaction between these isolated systems are particularly important for understanding quantum phenomena such as superconductivity and superradiance. But the strength of these interactions typically depends on the separation distance, which can create particle problems for researchers studying these effects. Their experiments are limited by how close they can get to the atoms. Most atoms used in cold experiments, such as the alkali metals, have to have contact in order to interact, Dew said. We're interested in disporism atoms, which are special in that they can interact with each other at a long range. Through dipole-dipole interactions, weak attractive forces between particle charges on adjacent atoms. But although there's this long-range interaction, there are still some types of quantum phenomena that cannot be realized because the dipole interaction is so weak. I'm skipping through this. Seemingly impossible can't see shit. Heat transfer was just one of the bizarre effects the team studied. Now they're eager to further explore the potential of quantum interactions at this scale. The group is already beginning to study how these bilayers interact with light. But Dew is particularly interested in another quantum effect called Bardeen, Cooper, Sheffield, BCS pairing, a quantum bond state experienced by some subatomic particles called fermions at low temperatures. So they're using new technology and new apparatuses to get these things to be squished, ripped apart, moving in backwards, all that fun shit. But like I keep saying, quantum computing, we're all under the assumption that there is quantum computers, they already exist, they're already out there, and that might be the case. But if they're still discovering this stuff, which they're not interested in the political atmosphere or the spiritual atmosphere, they're just doing them and putting these articles out. So what lies are being spread and told? Because I believe there's plenty of that happening. Oh, there's a quantum computer at this base, there's this at this base. Okay, but if they're still discovering this quantum stuff and they're still like figuring out components to time crystals and quarks and how these things could be, it's kind of like our computers now, how they used to be humongous tubes to now little flat screens. So if we look at how technology evolved and how it is still now very much vastly evolving, do they really have these supercomputers? They have supercomputers. Do they have the quantum computers? And where are they stored? Because I can tell you right now, to keep this somewhere in a space that can get to those levels of temperature consistently, with look at all the storms going on, and seriously, the last few months, the tornadoes ripping across the United States is devastating, and my thoughts and my prayers go to everybody, seriously. The things that I see on television, well, YouTube, is devastating. But let's just say those labs are out there in the middle of the Midwest. It would not survive any of that stuff. So where is this being done? If there is a quantum computer, where is it being stored? Is it in Antarctica? Is it in Canada? Where are these things? I would love to know. And not talking about university small level stuff. I'm talking about the big boy. And you know, CERN could be a part of that too. Possibly. This next article sparked a what the F happened there? Middle finger all involved. This is by discovermagazine.com by Paul M. Sutter, February 23rd, 2023. And you know, once again, these things pop up on my feed on Facebook. Will humans ever go faster than light? Why can't we travel faster than the speed of light? Find out what complications arise as physicists explore the light speed. We are light. Our soul is light. And we enter darkness in matter. We are faster than light because we are light. Put that in there. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm not I know so many people love Einstein. I am not an Einstein fan. I don't discredit his work, but I believe that Hawking, Einstein, and some others like made the foundation, and some of them were in very much corruption. Institutions that didn't have the best for humanity. And only going through documents and reading layers upon layers and listening to JQ did a lot of this stuff that I'm reading dawn on me that, wait, hold on. Not just about frequency and vibratory states and dimensions and densities and the overlay of the system, the holographic nature of our world and simultaneous simulated matrices that is concurrently happening simultaneously around us. We just don't perceive it with our two little material eyes here. I don't trust Einstein. Not saying that his work is irrelevant or that it's a foundation stone to bigger, better. And I think a lot of people are starting to challenge his work because we are elevating into different states of consciousness and we are expanding our awareness. And I don't think Einstein was a bad person. I just think he was caught up in a system that kind of inverted a lot of his stuff to dumb us down or to keep us in a state of, oh, shit. You know, they have to be the brainiacs of the world. But if perception has been given to us to perceive what they want you to see and not what is actually being created by you manifestably on an everyday occurrence, that's why people could say there is a flat earth to people who want the globe earth. It's all about perception and metaphysics. They both exist because you are the one that creates your interpretation and perception of what you're seeing. There is no right or wrong, but a solid foundation of they manipulating science in a general term to keep us at a certain rate of consciousness so that we're not expanding has kind of been lifted now because we're in the next level dimension and everybody's like I said earlier, things are going at like quantum speed. So I do, even though I didn't read this article yet, we go way faster than light because we are light. And I think they're just calculating old stuff. Just my theory. Einstein's special theory of relativity governs our understanding of both the flow of time and the speed at which objects can move. In special relativity, the speed of light is the ultimate speed limit to the universe. Nothing can travel faster than it. Our thought can. Every single moving object in the universe is constrained by the fundamental limit. Possible, I say. Speed of light and sound. This isn't something like the speed of sound. Every scientist wondered if we could ever go faster than that speed. Not because of some fundamental rule of the universe, but because we didn't know if our engineering and materials science capabilities could withstand the extreme turbulence generated by moving at such speeds. But everyday objects already surpass the speed of sound. For example, the crack of a whip is caused by the tip creating a sonic boom as it travels faster than the sound speed. If you are a Bible person, God said, said, sound. Let there be light. Chicken and the egg question, what came first? God said, vibratory states, frequency moving out. And yes, there is a delay when lightning strikes. 9 times out of 10, there is a few seconds after you hear the thunder. I understand that concept. I totally understand the crack of the whip. But why is that? If God said and spoke it all into existence, and then the light came in out of the darkness, there's something there I think needs to be explored a little further. And using the God terminology, but not in a biblical way, but in a scientific term. Just saying. As you approach the speed of light, your mass balloons up to infinity. The closer you get to the speed of light, the more out of control your mass becomes. With higher masses, you must push yourself harder to accelerate, and you quickly find yourself in a position where it would take an infinite amount of energy to overcome light speed. Exploring light speed. This isn't just a matter of clever engineering or figuring out some trick. This is built into the fabric of the universe. In what density, I ask? That said, there are proposals out there for designing specialized devices that could supposedly overcome this limit without outright breaking relativity. These concepts work because special relativity is a law of local physics. It tells you that you can never measure nearby motion going faster than the speed of light. For example, a wormhole could send you to a distant destination faster than you could go traveling normally through space. Even though you could travel down the wormhole as slowly as you want, the sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that word, drive is essentially a warp drive deforming space-time near you so that it can pull you forward as fast as you want to go, even faster than light without once ever firing a rocket. Interesting there. Negative mass and backward time travel. But these fanciful ideas suffer from two drawbacks. For one to function, they each require the use of some exotic form of matter, namely matter that has negative mass. Negative mass is truly weird. If you were to drop a ball of negative mass, it would fly up. If you kick the ball, it would roll into an opposite direction, and so on. It would completely break everything we know about movement and momentum. And we have absolutely no examples of negative mass existing in our universe. Without negative mass, you can't build a wormhole or a warp drive. There are wormholes. They exist here. So there's a false statement right there. They just don't put it out publicly, and a lot of these scientists have no freaking clue that wormholes already exist, and that's what we're fighting over. Who knew? But it exists if wormholes here exist. And there are departments in little community colleges, not really Ivy League, who are experimenting with wormholes. So explain to me that we don't have negative mass. Or what are they using? Something to think about. Second, the ability to go faster than light automatically permits backward time travel. As soon as you concoct methods to cheat the speed of light, you can set up scenarios where signals or spaceships can return to their original point before they departed. This sets up all sorts of messy casualty violating situations and paradoxes, like dropping off a bomb to destroy your spaceship before it departed. But unless it departs, the bomb never gets delivered. So like super soldiers in 20 and backs, that's time travel, whether it be backward or forward. They're coming back to the original zero point of where they left. Someone explain that one. Just somebody explain that. And they are now acknowledging spaceships in this article. I mean, most of us already know that this stuff already exists. Most of it is our own governments. And it's not just the United States that have this technology. Oh, hell no. But yeah, here we are with this article, and they're already like for spaceships. You know, space motels, and you're going to go up into space. We're going to have a elevator that goes up there. Okay. Dimensionally, things exist in higher frequencies and higher dimensional spaces, densities. Explain to me space, time, because it isn't what people are projecting it as. And if this is a holographic simulated matrix in a firmament, which I do believe that it is existence in, we are quarantined and we now are becoming unquarantined. What happens if that lifts? The hologram shifts its understanding of what to project because it's creating as we are creating reality. Something to wrap your head around. It's not easy to understand nor to even conceive. But in different dimensional spaces exist these spacecraft. Now, what they're experiencing is higher density forms and different worlds and different things. We're not there yet to even comprehend such things. We can read about it, we can understand it to an extent, but the full capacity of what is in the higher realms, holy crap. And the fact that a lot of people who want to prove and have disclosure, oh, we have to have disclosure, raise your effing frequency. There are going to be people that are never going to raise their frequency. They're going to repeat their density, and that's fine. That's their choice. So why are we waiting on them to wake up when it's not them that are waking up? It's us shifting our awareness to a higher frequency state. Then you're going to see all the aliens and spaceships you want. And I know many of us are already there. We see them. It's not always, because we're always in flux of energy here. We're still in a physical form. So of course we're limited to how long a frequented state can stay, but we get there, and a lot of us do see these things. Raise your frequency, and then the more people who do it, the more spaceships you're going to see. There's no paradox in that. It's just being aware. Being in a state of authenticity, being in a state of unconditional love, being in a state of, we're always going to be in flux in a physical vehicle. You're not going to stay at 5D consistently until more people in your environment hit that state so it could stay. If you're the only one frequenting 5D, you're only going to have little snapshots and experiences that will show you the little aliens or the spaceship. And sometimes they densify so that people that are meant to wake up go, oh, there's a gray, or oh, what the hell is that thing? Nothing to be scared of, by the way. They look different from us, and us as humans most likely will be introduced by the Pleiadians, possibly other forms, life forms that look just like us, so people don't freak the F out. But I would hope that most of us who are in a higher awareness would be accepting of our own people that don't look normal, as a norm standard. There are people who are born with abnormalities. There are people with, horrible diseases and illnesses that alter their physicality. And many of us don't even look twice. We respect their soul. and we give them the unconditional love and treat them as like everybody else, where some people can't do that and they ridicule or point out, obviously children aren't aware of those things. But it's really interesting to read this and how many ironic things I am finding already and hypocritical things. And we're going to finish this portion. We got one more article to go. The speed of light is baked into the most fundamental relationship in the universe. The relationship between space and time as expressed through special relativity. Every single time we test that theory, we're also testing every other aspect of the theory, including its limitations of light speed and special relativity. Relativity is perhaps one of the most well-tested theories in all science. For over a century, it has stood strong. This isn't to say that someday in the far future, humanity couldn't concoct some new theory of physics that completely rewrites our understanding of speed, space, time, and causality. Ding, 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 bingo! Which makes it impossible to outright rule out faster than light travel. But for now, it seems like we and everything else in the universe is permanently stuck in the slow lane. I couldn't agree more with this person, and kudos to you, because although there's a lot of irony here, you're only being dictated to by professors who are in one school of thought and indoctrinated into a program that slows our understandings of the universe down. And once again, it's no fault to these people that pay money to be dictated to. I think that's why I went to art school. I don't think I'm going to lie there. I think I went to art school because I was sick and tired of being spoken to and not learning and not having my own unique individual take on things and being dismissed as a nut because I had a theory outside of the questionable what is in the textbook. And I just wouldn't have it, just to be honest. I like outside thinking, and even if I'm not right, it's still thinking and expanding outside of a box that's been dictated by a textbook or by this and such doctorate person. I don't buy it. I mean, we all serve a purpose, but at what point do we stop to think, how fast do your thoughts go? You are light. You have a light body. You have an oversoul. You have multi-dimensional layers to your essence, to your energy signature. Is that faster than light when you get information? When the thoughts that are not really yours, that are of other essences coming into you, so you have thinking a thought, is that faster than light? If I project my light body out, is that faster than light? Just good questions. The last article for today. Lifeboat Foundation. This is lifeboat.com. AI could help find a solution for string theory. Posted by Shailesh Prasad in categories particle physics, quantum physics, and robotics and AI. I'm a very big proponent of string theory. It's not, I don't believe it's a theory. This is a very interesting article. I do believe that the Vedics and the Norse, especially the Norse, when they told their stories about the three Norns and they're weaving the thread of fate. They're weaving into existence the manifestation of the universe at large. This is what they're doing by weaving. It technically is string theory, that all things are quantum entangled together through a string of some sort. But let's read. String theory could provide a theory of everything for our universe, but it entails 10 to 500, more than a centillion possible solutions. All AI models could help to find the right one. By Mason Bischoff. Tiny little threads whizzing through space-time and vibrating incessantly. This is roughly how you can imagine the universe according to string theory. Various vibrations of the threads generate the elementary particles such as electrons and quarks, and the forces acting more among them. Yes. Over the years, however, string theorists have been confronted with increasing difficulties. For the theory to work, additional spatial dimensions are needed, as well as additional particles that have not yet been observed. One of the most serious setbacks, however, is the sheer number of possible solutions that string theory offers. More than 10 to the 500th power possible universes tumbling out of the equation. And among them, you could have to find one that fits our world, describing the same elementary particles and forces. But it's not just the enormous number of solutions that causes a problem. From a mathematical viewpoint, it is extremely difficult to deduce the observable particles and forces from a particular solution. This is why string theorists are now turning to certain artificial intelligence algorithms to help them with the task. In early 2024, researchers achieved impressive results, which they posted on the preprint server arxiv.org. When the physicists worked out string theory in the 1980s, they quickly realized that the mathematical formalism did not fit into our 4 space-time dimensions. In order for the theory to work, a 10-dimensional space-time would be required. 1 dimension of time and 9 dimensions of space, because we only perceive 3 spatial dimensions in our world. However, the remaining 6 would have to be rolled up in the dimensions that were so tiny that we would not notice any of them. You guys can obviously why I'm a big proponent of string theory. This means that at every point in space, there would be a tiny fold or entity that existed in 6 dimensions, so small that no microscope could ever resolve it. The way in which the 6-dimensional space is rolled up plays an important part in the string theory. This is because the exact geometry determines how the strings vibrate, and therefore which elementary particles and forces are created. The ultimate aim is to find the 6-dimensional geometry of the coiled space that exactly describes our universe. String theorists formulated some requirements that rolled up geometries must fulfill, but still confront with a huge number of possibilities, far more 6-dimensional geometries than our particles in the universe. And then there was another problem. Calculating the exact geometric details of the rolled up dimensions turned out to be a mammoth task. Describing complicated 6-dimensional shapes with mathematical precision is virtually impossible. Yeah. I'm going to skip a little bit. In 2017, researchers in neural networks to determine the exact geometries of 6 of the simplest ways to roll up the excess dimensions. Then Andre Constantine of the University of Oxford led the team to posit a preprint paper in 2024. The physicists used other neural networks to investigate how strings would interact with different rolled up geometries and what elementary particles would result. In the end, they were able to derive the mass of 3 different quarks and thus provided a concrete prediction in their preprint. This result do not match the quarks masses we observe in our universe. However, this is not surprising after all the scientists picked out individual geometries from 10 to 500th possible configurations and tested them. The correct geometry that describes our universe could therefore still be hidden among these 10 to the 500th power variants. This is why some string theorists are now aiming to first reduce the monstrous number and only then examine remaining geometries in the neural networks. What was interesting that when I went to a medium a couple of years ago, it's the same guy that I've mentioned before. He spoke to me pre me evolving to the state of where I am now and said that I need to write a book about how things are all connected. And he sounded like string theory. It was very, very intriguing when he described like what I need to write, how everything is connected, and how all simultaneous time is connected from the ancient world to the forward future world that we have yet to experience, how all of that ties into one. I have yet no idea how that will be going if I ever do write a book in that manner or state of consciousness, but it's not now. But that'd be the coolest thing ever because I've always enjoyed the understanding of string theory. I just think they overcomplicate it, possibly. But it has the most it's how we're all connected, like quantum entanglement. We're all connected by entanglement. So if they just could tie in entanglement with string theory, we're golden. I don't know how to do that mathematically. Just don't. But that doesn't mean that there are other people out there working on that right now. And that would be the coolest thing ever. So for where all these articles stand, it's just looking at how we are evolving as a society, how science is moving forward, how we are exploring at quantum fast speeds. Just to put into perspective that if there are people telling you there's quantum computers and there's this type of computer, they're still working these things out. These people are so into their work, they're not really involved in the outside world much. I mean, just like really be honest with yourself. How many of these people are just like doing a bog amount of research in other areas of life? They don't know that there's manipulation happening. And if they do, they think it's like, oh, it's the numbers. They're not thinking about spirituality, the light and the dark side, the polarities of good and evil. They're not looking at that stuff. They're just fixated in their work. So they're not really thinking about humanity. They're thinking about, well, how does reality been created and what can we do to further advance us? And yeah, it's great. Maybe. Depends on what means the ends bring about. Time will tell. But I like to keep on these articles. I like to keep on reading these articles because it just shows us where we are in our advancement and what keep tabs on what these people are doing. I'm not saying any of them are bad. I just don't think they realize that some of the experiments that are being done are not being publicized. They're being publicized and published and all their findings after the fact. And I understand that you don't want anybody stealing your project. I totally get it. But in the same breath, we should know what safety level all of these experiments are and what is worth actually exploring and what should be kept until things are more discovered or known to be not going to be sucking us in a black hole or opening up a portal where we're all sucked in. Wouldn't that be nice? So guys, I'm going to leave it there. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding and protection energy. Please be safe. My thoughts and my prayers and my energy is going to all of those that are affected in Iowa the other day, Oklahoma and Texas. I know you guys have been getting slammed, Nebraska, Ohio. There is so much devastation out there. Please, Amish mindset, if you have it in your finance department, or just you are able to help, go look for reach out situations and help people that really could use it right now. I did get my job. I'm going tomorrow for the paperwork. I'm very excited. I don't know any of the details. This is like nerve-wracking. This never took this long in my life. From March to May, trying to get hired to know if I even have a job, because I need steady income. I'm in the alarm bells right now, and I'm not trying to freak out. Scary situations all about. But thank you for the support. Sending all of you love and light. And just check out the articles if you're interested, and I hope you enjoyed. Please enjoy your upcoming week. I know it's Memorial Day weekend, so please be safe and be seen, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye for now.